right, thank you so much for tuning back in to another reaction video. My name is Chris.
My name is Sam.
And we are Offset.
Era.
Woohoo! All right, you guys have asked for this a lot. It's been coming up several times, and the video is now starting to snowball, really. It's a group of kids, I guess, from the Philippines. They're called Mission Souls.
Yep.
And they're doing a cover of Highway Star by Deep Purple. So we're definitely finally getting around to checking them out. So we're really excited to try them out. We're going to look into them a little bit, learn a little bit more about the group, and then we'll check out some comments and jump into the video. What do we know about Mission Souls? Mission Souls.
Mission Souls, they're a family band from the Philippines, from Cebu City, according to a Facebook post, known for an emphasis on family unity. They're a family of 6, including parents Second and Sheena, and their 4 children, Naces, Nisha, Stacy, and Isaiah. If any of those are mispronunciations, we apologize.
Yeah.
The band members showcase musical abilities by playing various instruments and singing.
Okay.
And well, that all bands do that.
Maybe they switch instruments. Maybe that's what they're insinuating.
Ooh, that. Like, keep in mind, we're going into this. I have no idea. We're going into this blind, no idea if there is an instance where they do switch around instruments.
Or play different things for different songs. That's what I'm guessing.
Or like scrolling down here, like their cover of "Don't Stop Believing." It looks like that must be the dad.
Yeah. So.
Also, so like it is a family band. So it's looking like yeah, maybe they do switch around instruments, and like dad jumps in on one instrument sometimes, and that's really cool.
Yeah. That
is so cool.
All right, and looking at the video here, it does look like it's gotten to 1.8 million views in just 2 months.
That's nice. That's awesome.
Yeah, so they're doing really well.
It says it's a pinned comment from the band themselves. They hit 1 million views of this in just 3 weeks.
Holy crap. That's absolutely mind-blowing, it says. All right.
63-year-old here. I grew up on Deep Purple. I've watched this more than 10 times now, and it just gets better. Unbelievable.
A lot of older folks here. 70 years old here. My wife asked why I had tears in my eyes, and I said, I don't know!
Australian, a guitarist. Never heard of anyone nail a Deep Purple song like that. You guys are amazing.
Okay. This is the first time I've heard them play without mom and dad. For their age group, they are perhaps the best band on the planet. Wow.
Wow.
Little man on the drums looks like about 8, playing like he's 48. Killer drum performance. Wow.
I was going to say, Deep Purple is like, as far as like their immediate, like their demographic, they were like the musicians band, Richie Blackmore, guitar player of guitar players, John Lord is, the interesting thing about this song, like if it's looking like they're going to be doing this with 2 guitars.
Yeah.
Whereas in the original one, it's just Richie Blackmore and John Lord. John Lord was keyboards.
Right.
But for this song, what he did was he took his electric keyboard and he plugged it into a Marshall stack.
Right.
So it's gonna be really interesting how they do things. Like, are they going to do like trade-off solos or?
All right.
Yeah, because like this is a classic song, but there's always room for I wouldn't say embellishments, but there's always room for experimentation. Like for making the song yours.
All right.
We've seen plenty of amazing bands cover songs and make them their own.
Yes.
So
we'll see what they do.
We're going to see what they do with great interest.
With that, let's jump on in.
And for anyone jumping on in with us for the very first time, welcome to the channel.
Welcome indeed. This will be our first time checking out this group. If you want more, let us know. We'll definitely dive into more. We've done a bunch of different covers over the time here. It's just too hard to point in one direction or another. Check out our channel if you haven't been here before. We have lots of stuff. If you see something we haven't done, let us know. We'll jump into it. But if you're not new to the channel,
you know what time it is.
You know what time it is.
Wait, I don't have a watch. What time is it?
It's time for the glorious,
the epic,
All right, so first time checking this out. I don't know the song, Sam does, so I get to hear the song probably for the first time. Maybe not. Maybe I know it. I don't know it. But yeah, we're gonna.
If you have heard it and you listen to it, then you're like, oh wait, I've heard it.
Yeah, here we go. Yes, that kid is very young. Oh my god. All right. All Fenders. Yeah, even the bass is a Fender.
Jazz bass, nice.
Wow.
Also, they are doing it with two guitars because, like I said, like what she's doing on the Strat, the dun 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 dun, that's John Lord's part.
Yeah. Okay.
With the Marshall and the keyboards.
Oh, nice background vocal. Oh, that kid is so good. The drummer. Ooh, what the?
Holy!
This little man is killing it.
He is.
Oh my god.
What was his name? Isaiah?
I think so.
He is killing it on those drums. I mean, Ian Pace is a monster drummer.
Yeah.
You know, if I'm not mistaken, he's got a jazz background.
Mm-hmm.
He is regarded and revered as one of the best drummers in the rock world, and he's been doing it for a better part of 50 something years. You know, and Highway Star's got a lot of, you know, has got a lot of those crazy fills in there.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if I'm not mistaken, Ian Pace is also left-handed.
Okay.
And our drummer Vince is left-handed. So there you go.
One other thing I want to call out, just because I've noticed that none of them are wearing shoes. This to me screams home studio at home. You
Nothing wrong with that.
No, not at all.
We do it. That's how we do things.
And I'm recognizing the setup here, so we
Yeah.
got a bunch of stuff mic'd, and we have a gaming computer over here. We have the monitor. We could see the DAW or whatever they're
Just like
performing.
home.
Yes, just like just like here. If you guys were to see the other side of what we do, here's a gaming computer right next to
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
it. This is crazy. All right, let's keep going.
Ooh, she's a killing machine. She got everything. Like the moving mouth, body controlling everything. I love her. I need her. I see her. Yeah, she turns me on. All right, hold tight. I'm a highway star.
Oh, playing open-handed now? Oh my god.
They're harmonizing.
So I think
Like it's on the
the
keyboard.
cut-in person is the bass player playing on the keyboard. I think that's how. I don't think it's the same person, but I think that's the girl that's playing bass in the other shot. So they had to have done this after the fact. Obviously, this is probably not live. Anyway, it's still cool.
Actually, that might be the mom.
I think it's this girl. I think it's this girl right here. I think it's this girl. It kind of looks like it could be. I mean, it could be. It could be someone else, but I don't know. I think it looks like her. I don't know. That's my opinion. You guys all have to let us know.
Dude, stick twirls too. It's so cool.
He's so smiling. Every time he does something cool, he looks around and like, did anyone see that? Did anyone see that? That's so cute.
I gotta say the bass is great too.
Yeah.
You know, locking in with the drums like that. They have not relented once. And those bass fills.
Yeah.
You know, like I've listened to the song over and but seeing it, you know, like played like that.
Yeah.
You know, it really makes me appreciate Roger Glover as a bass player. Like
Yeah.
like sometimes in some camps he's overshadowed a bit by Glenn Hughes, who came into the band after he left. But you know, listen to this song. Listen to stuff on In Rock and the, you know, some of the deep cuts on this album, Machine Head.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Yep.
And it's so cool to see such young kids taking such a keen interest in this.
Yeah.
You know, like 30 years ago, rock music's like classic rock. This is like classic rock.
Yeah. It's old.
Nobody gonna beat my car.
It's not old, it's classic.
Ooh, it's a killing machine.
He's all smiling.
Like the driving power, big fat tires and everything. I love it, I need it, I see it. Yeah, it's a wild hurricane. Alright, hold tight. I'm a highway star. I'm a highway star. I'm a highway star.
Yeah. You go, buddy.
Thumbs. Okay, guys, pose for the camera.
Yeah.
Wait for the slow fade out. Okay, now you can. All right, let's flip back over. All right, Mission Souls. With the Highway Star. What do you think of that? And what is that? How did it compare to the original?
It was it was very, very true to the original, very loyal to the original. Oh my God, you know, it's not easy to do a Deep Purple song right.
Right. Yeah.
You know, like I see so many I've seen so many videos of guitar players doing the main riff to Smoke on the Water, but they're doing it wrong.
Right. Yeah.
You know, it's like it all comes down to the subtleties, like the way Richie plays it.
Right.
You know, he doesn't strum it, he doesn't pick it, he plucks the strings when he does that riff.
Yeah.
You know, but nitpicking aside, like I said, it was very loyal to the original song in terms of, you know, arrangements and everything. You know, that little guy on the drums, holy,
Yeah.
you know, like I said, Ian Pace is not an easy drummer to copy.
Right.
You know, this song, Burn, from 1973, 1974, you know, his drums on that track, you know, monstrous.
Yeah.
You know, he is a monstrous drummer.
Yeah.
You know, so that little guy just pulling it off like that, adding a couple of like his own little fills in there.
Yeah. A lot of double K, like where
Yes.
he's hitting both hands and doing both feet at the same time. It was really cool.
He's got if he decides to stick with the drums, then he's got an incredibly bright future ahead of him as a drummer.
Hell yeah.
You know, with those kind of chops at such a
Yeah.
young age, all of them, you know, great musically.
Yeah.
I love the family dynamic.
Yes.
You know, it's kind of reminiscent of The Warning, how they're, you know, a family dynamic.
Right.
That's just great.
Yep.
It was really interesting seeing this, you know, with the two guitar dynamic.
Yeah.
You know, the singer, you know, obviously, you know, she was rhythm guitar, so she was doing, you know, Richie Blackmore's rhythm guitar, like, you know, just the chords and stuff, and you know, letting her sister do the leads.
Right.
So it was, you know, so sonically all those bases were covered, and it was really cool, you know, hearing, you know, the guitar harmonize with, you know, with the keyboards in that one
Right.
clip.
The tapping part, and then there was a couple other parts where the keyboards were dubbed in. There was like a harmony guitar dubbed in. So I'm wondering, like, was this originally shot and then they went back and dubbed it, or was this all pre-recorded? It's hard to know for sure. It's really crazy though.
Yeah, the bass there too, like I said, Roger Glover's bass on classic Deep Purple stuff. You know, some of their stuff gets very, very proggish.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it, you know, some of it can get very out there.
Yeah.
The only thing that wasn't like on the same, you know, I don't want to say level.
Yeah.
And, you know, because that would imply like I'm like drawing favorites or like, you know, getting nitpicky about, you know, criticism or whatever.
Right.
You know, like in the beginning of the Deep Purple song, of the original recording, they in the production they used like these like fade in screams, like high pitched screams from Ian, like "Ah," my throat's
Yeah.
my voice is a little rough right now, so I don't want to try and get up there and risk breaking a window, But I'm not faulting her for that, because it's not an easy thing to like scream, because his like it's like I love it, like getting raspy and rough like that, like not even Ian can do it like that anymore, like he has to like tone it down a little bit, because of his age,
Right.
So like that's like the only thing, like it's not like the vocals like that like on the original recording are a bit or a bit like like they have those screams in the beginning, but that's more of a production thing,
Right.
Great vocal harmonies,
Yeah.
and
What else can we say?
what else can we
I did notice that there was no amps. I feel like this was all either like amp sim,
like maybe
or
like
plugins.
done through the computer,
Yeah, something like that, because that would have crowded that space pretty badly if they had a bunch of amps. So I'm guessing I saw one pedal board on the floor, so I'm guessing it was just all amp sim. So really great sounds for this. I mean, it sounds great for home studio or for any studio, really.
yeah.
So
Everything was great balance in the mix.
yeah.
Nothing was overbearing.
Yeah.
Everything, as a bass player, I love that the bass was audible, but not too audible.
Right.
Just right in the mix, and being able to see, what's done. And, like I said, really makes me appreciate Roger Glover's role in the band.
Yeah. All right. Well, that is all we're going to say about that. It's been long enough. We do appreciate you guys checking out the video. If you guys want to do some more from Mission Souls, let us know in the comments. You can go over to our post tab, or you can become a Patreon for prioritized suggestions.
That is correct.
But in the meantime, we are Offset Era.
Specifically 2/3 of Offset Era, Southwest Florida's premier punkcore three-piece.
Right.
We have an extensive playlist of all of our original music if you're curious as to what we sound like and how punkcore entails.
Yeah.
And we are very excited to announce we have a brand new full-length 10-song CD in physical and digital copies called Decade Down.
Yeah, I was listening to it in the car the other day when it came out. It's been a crazy week for us. A lot of personal things going on, so it's been difficult to promote it, but we've done our best. It is out there on all digital streaming platforms.
That's right. A
10
couple
songs.
of other musicians have hit us up and like, hey, this album sounds great.
Yeah. So yeah, we're getting some good compliments. It's also there's an off topic or an Offset Era topic where you can listen to the album right here on YouTube. So you
That's
don't
right.
have to go anywhere. You can stay here and go listen to it there if you'd like. It is on our channel if you can't find it. So just go to our channel, go down to other channels, and you'll see there's a topic called Offset Era. It's published by the distribution company that we use. Go check it out if you don't have those other platforms. You don't have to have Spotify or iTunes or anything to go check out the album. It's available right there on YouTube, so check it out.
Yep, it's all covered. And in addition to this CD,
Right.
we have a music video that we made for the album.
Yeah, so one of our popular songs called Bridges Never Listen.
Yep.
We did a goofy video for that. The songs on the album are really cool. Like, I keep going through it and kept listening to it, and it sounds great in the car. So I hope you guys have a chance to check it out. We also have some shows coming up.
Yes, Saturday, June 28th, we're going to be at Dozier's in Arcadia, Florida with the Sick Boys and the Scream Queens.
Yes.
Saturday, July 19th, we're going to be at the Oscura in Bradenton. That's going to be our very first time there. I've seen some live video clips of bands playing that place. Looks like it's always a great crowd, really cool, really cool stage area.
Yep.
We're really excited for it.
Yeah.
And it's bunch of great bands that night too.
Yeah.
For this one, we got Abortion Twins, Lot Lizards, Slimers, The Low Cards, Wrath and the Wise Guys, and No Room to Talk.
Yes, can't wait to play that show there. And then hopefully after that we'll have some time between shows to do some other things, and then hopefully book some more throughout the rest of the year. That's so far everything we have here. But if you're interested in following the band, you can do it on YouTube, you can do it on Facebook, and you can do it on Instagram.
That's right.
You can connect with us any way you can.
Just don't follow us in real life, or we'll have you arrested.
All right, well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for commenting, liking, and subscribing. Let us know what you want to see in the next one.
And we'll see you then.
See you there.